first and foremost, for all of you newbies, let me just say this. You do not, there's nothing negative that ever comes through here, okay? So if, everything is for healing purposes. So if something comes through, or someone comes through that you're like, this is hard to talk about, it's only for healing purposes, and that's the only way that they'll bring this up, okay? They won't bring up anything to embarrass you, things like that. Yes, many things are private, but luckily this is a very private setting here. But please know that there's nothing negative. I've never ever received anything negative from anybody, even if I've had someone come through that has made negative choices here in this life. They don't come through to say anything negative. So let me just say that to kind of hope to, calm any nerves there. And also, I know that each of you come here with the intention of who you'd like to hear from and what you'd like to hear, and the 3 or 10 things you need to hear to know that it is them, right? Okay, I know that you come here with that intention, and I thank you for that. I just ask that you release it now. So you already set that intention. They're not going to come through with those things that you want to hear, okay? They're going to come through with what you need to hear, because this is their opportunity to help you, to help guide you, to help bring some healing wherever they have seen or feel that you need the most healing. And also, I may not be able to receive some of those specific things. Sometimes sometimes the people that come in with the list, they leave and everything off their list, is checked off, and they receive it. And sometimes it's not, and it's up to you to just be open to receiving whatever happens here now. And hopefully, even if you don't hear that one thing, or you don't hear from that one person, you can at least take something from this, even if it's through someone else's reading, because I don't have control over what they say or who steps forward here. At the end, I can try to answer any questions that you may have, or directly focus on those things, or if there's a certain person you'd like me to try to connect with that you didn't hear from, I can try. I can't guarantee anything, and it's not anything to do with the fact that they're not here with you. It's just that maybe I'm not the right medium for you, or it's just like going to a party. Not everyone mixes and matches, and it has a lot to do with 3 different people here. It's my personality and what I can receive. Their personality does not change on the other side. They can grow, learn, do better, but their personality does not change. So especially if someone's more quiet here, or they just think that, if they're more quiet, I always recommend doing a one-on-one instead of a group session. Or if you're more quiet, your personality is more like, I don't want to go there. I like to be private. I don't want to talk about any of this stuff. It has a lot to do with all of us. So please be aware of that here. And that even if they don't come through with those one things you want to hear, I hope that you just know that they're here with you. What happens is, the way I receive the relationship between you and your loved one is, I don't receive in-laws or steps or third cousins, things like that. We all have very modern families, I'm sure, but we don't get involved in that, okay? So if I have mom coming through and you're like, my mom's still here, what are you talking about, Lauren? This could be your mother-in-law. This could be your stepmom, okay? This could, if I have husband coming through, but this is not, your now husband, but it was your 3rd husband, then that's how it's gonna come through. He's gonna come through as husband here. We don't get involved in 3rd husband, step 1 removed. We don't have time for that. Okay, so be aware of that. It's also about the soul bond between you and this person. So say I have a sister coming through, but you don't even have a sister, but it would be a very, very close friend of yours who would feel like a sister. She's coming through to validate your relationship in that way, because that's how it was here. Okay, so just be aware of that. You can absolutely be a messenger. Say somebody who has lost someone very close to them, and they wouldn't see a medium. They may take this opportunity to get to you. I've had that happen in many group readings where someone's son stepped forward and he wanted to talk to his mom. However, his mom wasn't in the group of women I was speaking with. His mom was was a co-worker of this woman, and he said, I need you to call her right now because she's going to take her life. So I need her to know that it's not her time to do it. So please just be aware of there's a bigger picture here, and they know it. You can be a messenger, and as long as you know that person, you have a way to connect with them and a way to share that with them, they'll go through you. Not someone we read about in the newspaper. That's not a connection, okay? So be aware that you can be a Messenger. In a group reading like this, even though it's so intimate and that's lovely, I can have more than one soul pop in at once. So I may be here with you, and you may understand A, B, and C. However, you don't understand the next two pieces of information that step forward, but you understand all of that plus those two. It's both of them stepping forward together, okay? And sometimes I can feel the second soul step in, sometimes I can't. It just depends on what they want to do. So be aware of that. Listen to other people's readings. Don't just zone out, because it will absolutely be part of it for you. I was in a group of 60 people, and there's two women that sat next to each other. They didn't know each other whatsoever. They both lost a son. They both lost a son the same month in the same way with the same, I think, first initial. So it's very interesting. They didn't know each other, but they were closely connected, and both of their sons were trying to step forward. But they do this especially in a group setting. One-on-ones are different, but in a group setting, they do that to piggyback. That's what it's technically called. As far as also the way that I receive information is a little different than what most people would think. Most people are like, oh my gosh, they're just walking around and you can see them. Look, when I was younger, I used to see them walking around in the physical form. Now I don't see that as often. Sometimes I do, but it takes so much energy for them to do that. They don't need to do that to get my attention anymore. What they do is they make me feel a certain way. They'll whisper things in my ear. They'll also show me different signs and symbols. Those signs that I'm seeing visually will happen really, really quickly, okay? And it's my job to interpret that. However, I don't know anything about you or anything about your loved ones. I do know some things about you, Candy, so I'll be honest and tell you if anything that does come through that I already remember. But I don't know anything about any of you or your loved ones. So my interpretation can absolutely be off. I'm never going to sit here and say, I know everything. I know nothing. I know nothing. I only know what they give me here. So it's important that you're honest throughout this reading and say, yes, I understand that, or no, I don't understand that. What I would ask is, or when you say no, I can at least say, this is what I saw. This is what I heard. This is how they made me feel. And you may be able to interpret it yourself, because it may be my interpretation that's getting in the way of what they really need to say to you. This has happened many times because there's many personal things that come forward that are really strange, and I may try to interpret it. So be honest with that, so I can at least share with you, this is what they showed me here. How do you understand that? Or at least take that with you. I love that you have pen and paper. You can write it down, jot it down, Candy's recording, and you can go back to it, and you can remember, you might have to call somebody. You might have to call someone else in your family to validate this. And then lastly, I always like for you to know my intention, and it is not to convince you of mediums or my own personal ability or at all, or the other side, or to change your belief systems. That's not it. My intention here, now, and always is for you to know that your loved ones are still with you, for you to feel the presence with you today, and for you to walk out of this building knowing that they're going with you, and to further your connection with them. Not for you to go to more and more mediums, things like that. My intention is to help develop your personal relationship, because the truth is you don't need a medium to connect with them. It's lovely to have validation, and we all need that. But my hope and intention is that they bring up ways that they're already connecting with you, and that to further validate your relationship with them, okay? So that's my intention. Does anyone have, and that's my little spiel, does anyone have any questions before we begin?
How long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been able to see spirit since I was very, very young.
Really?
Very young. But since I can remember, I used to see them walking around and freak me out. Kind of like you were, right? The other person that was supposed to be here that was a little nervous. Well, it scared me because I didn't understand it. And it wasn't until I lost someone that was very close to me, and I saw her standing in my living room before I knew she passed away. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've lost it. And I went back to bed, and 10 minutes later I got a phone call that she passed away. It wasn't until then that I understood it. That's okay. It wasn't until then that I understood it. Because I started seeing people that I knew. And then I was like, oh, this isn't me just being, this isn't anything scary. So I've been able to do it. How long have I been doing this? Just for a couple years.
So did you realize, a certain point, and then what do you do? Katie said you're certified. How do you?
I know.
Oh, certified?
How do you become certified,
You know
or what makes you say, "Oh, I can talk to dead people. Let me
Well,
get further this or
well,
whatever."
I didn't want to do this.
Yeah.
This isn't what you don't wake up wanting to talk to dead people.
I'm sure.
Right.
I mean, you want to talk to your loved ones, right?
Yeah.
But not everybody else's.
Not everyone else.
Right.
That's right. As far as certified, the way that I was certified was through a program. I'm in a program where I give readings to parents who've lost their children. It's called Helping Parents Heal. And what they do, because some people, right, may prey on certain, mediums or psychics or whoever. You could have doctors who are preying on other people. You can have, right? So they go through this program where it's blind readings, where I don't see them, I don't hear them, and I give readings. So I sit with these people that I don't even know who they are, and I give readings, and then they grade you on your accuracy. So you're never 100% accurate in any reading, but you have to get over a certain amount in order to move on to the next grade, where you do it again, and meaning there's no way that you can have cold readings or you can read people's emotions or read off of them. So they do it blindly. Everything's blind, and then they grade you on it, and they go, you have to do a certain amount before you're certified. So and that's just to be a part of the Helping Parents Heal program. So that's for me. But certified medium makes you can't really do that always. Because every reading's different. I never know what's going to happen in a reading. So but yes, certified I am for that group. I don't know if anyone
just curious how the whole thing worked, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's like I think that's like, I always question that when someone says certified too. It's just like, it was just for that. But I don't know if you can stamp it.
See it,
Well, most people, the first thing they ask when Candy invited us is to say, well, how accurate. I said, let me know how accurate she was in your last reading. Because there is a lot of people who may say they do it.
And there's some times where I'm actually sitting with someone and it's not, I can feel that it's not.
Nobody's coming through, right?
Right.
Not that no one's coming through. It's everyone always has somebody. But I could feel that it's not a strong connection, right? So every reading, I know my friend just went to go see John Edward, and who's lovely,
Yeah, I like him.
Amazing.
Retard.
But he had a really, really hard night, and his readings weren't great. And that happens, It happens to all of us because it has a lot to do with our connection right here. So, anyways, there's so many different things. But, any other questions at all?
Just real quick, what did you mean by taking notes? Because I don't understand.
No.
Oh, no,
I mean,
you know
just
what?
for
You know why I
yourself.
like that?
Like
Just for
what?
yourself.
Like
No,
what?
you know-
If you hear something that
So this is why I like people to have notepads.
Yeah.
Say something comes up in a reading that you don't understand, jot it down, because they will not waste a thought. Any piece of energy that comes through me, will not be wasted. So if something comes through that you don't understand, jot it down.
She's looking at you and says something about a purple car. Write purple car, because you might not know
You're like,
what
what the
purple
heck's a
car
purple?
means.
Right.
But then
Do
later on
that.
down the road, it might say, now I know what that meant. So
And
it
that-
may be some of the most weird information, but write it down.
Okay.
we had that
It may
in
come back.
our initial meeting.
Oh.
Something was said to me, and Lauren was quite insistent. I keep seeing this, I keep seeing this.
You didn't know.
And I'm like, well, I guess, yeah, it could be this. It was like 9 months later that I rambled to her on a Facebook
Really?
Messenger and sent a picture of exactly what it was that it was referenced. And it was months later that I was like, ding.
Exactly. And
It-
some
it
things
clicked.
may not even have happened already, but they're trying to. This woman the other day, I just did a group reading for this group of people, and her father came through, and he was so persistent about a red cardinal tattoo. She goes, "Oh my God, I understand the red cardinals. I've had a red cardinal knocking at my door every single morning since the day he died." And I said, but he showed me a tattoo. And she's like, "I don't have a tattoo. I would never get a tattoo of that."
Right.
And I was like, "I am sorry. I just have to honor what he's giving me." She left that group reading, went to the grocery store, and as she was checked out, there was a woman who had a huge cardinal tattoo on her arm. She called me. She said, "This is the craziest thing, but I just saw this." It's their way of saying, like, this is... First of all, her dad can't keep getting the cardinal to probably knock at her door every day. He's trying to say,
Right.
"I'm going to come up with a different one too now," right? But it happened right after the reading, and the woman had a huge cardinal tattoo. She sent me a picture of it. It may not happen yet. It may not register. And what does that mean? Does that mean that her father's the tattoo? No. It means the father was right there with her and is trying to show her another sign.